Partially because of the economy, and I think right after the new year and people don't have a lot of money, I've been experiencing computers coming in that need repaired that are of older vintage. When I say older vintage, I'm just talking Windows XP. So today I am going to show you an XP machine that is an HP, and we're going to rebuild it for the guy. First we're going to save off the data that's on the hard drive, and then we're going to go ahead and completely redo the operating system and all the drivers, and then put his information back on the drive. So join me as we overhaul an HP machine, coming up on this edition of the Guru Brew. Woo. Well, here's the HP laptop that I was telling you about that we're going to be working on today. It actually fires up and boots just fine, and it runs fine too. It's just slow, and that's a sign of being used for years and finally filling up with enough junk and then bogging it down. The sticker on it says Vista, but there is an XP professional sticker on the back. This one, and the customer also had these discs for the XP itself, and even the application driver disc, which is kind of surprising. So the first thing that we're going to do for this customer is back up the user data onto this portable monster hard drive I have here, and get saving that off before we do anything else. So I'll show you that next. So the first thing that you should do when you start working on a laptop is plug it into the AC power supply line here. If your battery goes down when you're in the middle of formatting your hard drive or even moving data over, it can cause a real problem. So make sure you plug in your mains power. To initiate the transfer program, this is HP and it's a running HP, so I can just go to my start menu, all programs, accessories, system tools, file and setting transfer wizard right there. So it's start, accessories, system tools, file and setting transfer wizard, and this is on XP. Choose that. Welcome, blah blah blah. Next. Okay, it's asking me if this is the old computer or the new computer, and the reason why it's asking me that is because when I come back to this computer after formatting the drive and making it healthy again, we're going to say it's the new computer. So in this instance, to save off my data, we're going to call this the old computer, this one here. Next. Unblock, and it's going to collect my data. Okay, at this point it is asking me to select a transfer method, and this is where I am going to store the data. I can choose to burn disk or save it on a network. What I like to do is save it on a portable hard drive in a USB fashion, but there are other alternatives. If you have a big USB drive, a thumb drive, you could use that. So at this point I still do not have my USB drive plugged in yet. I don't like to do this step until I've actually started to collect my data. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to say other. The first one's for a direct cable, this one's, and at this point I'm going to have to go ahead and plug in that drive and make sure it's on. Now if you've watched any of my videos before, you know I have this portable hard drive here. And it's a monster hard drive, but it's a bit of a Frankenstein. Okay, plug in my external hard drive, and the drivers are being located for it. And the reason why I haven't actually plugged this drive in yet, and I'm doing so now after I've come to this point, is because I don't like the portable hard drive included in the list. I'm going to go ahead and open this drive. I'm going to make a new folder. I'm going to call it backup. Okay, I have a blank folder here. Now I can go ahead and close that. Now I can browse for that drive. My computer. There's the backup. There's the folder I made. And next. It's asking me now what I would like to transfer. I usually always pick both files and settings. However, there are certain circumstances when you just want to do the settings or the files, but I usually choose both. Now you can also do this custom one down here, but at this point it's really not necessary. As long as you've plugged in this drive after you've launched File and Setting Transfer Wizard, you don't have to exclude it, so you can just continue with next. Okay, it's going to do some collection process here, and this does take a while. I'll be back as soon as it does finish. There's the time now, so I will be back. Well, I've been moving right along here collecting data, and you can see behind this window here that I'm compressing, and it's better than halfway done. But I received this pop-up message that's telling me that this temporary pref library cannot be copied, and I just wanted to film this real quick and show you that if you get these kind of messages, it's not that big a deal. You can just ignore and move on. As long as you don't keep getting a bunch of these messages, a few are okay, and are to be expected because you are actually using the operating system that you are trying to copy. And besides that, we're just taking user data. We're not using all those system files anyway, so that's quite okay to skip those files. Okay, as soon as this finishes, I will be back. Okay, so the File and Setting Transfer Wizard has now collected. It's called the collection phase. It's completed, so we just have to hit finish down here. I'll have to reference that other time back, but I know it's been at least an hour. There's the time there. I'll put it in the annotation how long that took. Anyway, the collection phase is finished, so I click finish. Now what I like to do to make sure, or at least it gives me peace of mind, is to go in here and actually see the physical file, even though I don't plan to do nothing with it, just to be sure before I begin formatting this computer, because once I begin, there's no going back. Here's the folder that I made, and I can just hover over the top of it and it tells me that it's 24.2 gig, and that's the one I just made. You can see it's just a bunch of image data files is how it's done, and then there's this status file, but we don't need to be concerned with them as long as we know they're there and they're safe. Okay, I can go ahead and disconnect this USB drive. All of our important data is now on this hard drive right here. So we'll visit that when we redo this computer. Next up, formatting the hard drive. So we have our disk. This one's the application and driver recovery DVD, and this one is the operating system CD for the XP Windows Professional. By the way, I didn't say it, I don't think. This computer that I'm working on right now is a HP Compaq laptop. It's a 6735B, and this is one of the laptops that was being produced during the transition of the HP Compaq. You know, when HP purchased Compaq. So this was manufactured sometime during that transition, so it actually has both names on it. Kind of a weird little computer. Anyway, what's to be done next is to pop the drive open. Now this is before you shut it off. You want to get your disk in there. Now I realize that this video is more for the home do-it-yourselfer than it is the tech. Most techs already know this stuff for sure, but anyway, there is the operating system CD for Service Pack 2, so that means we'll have to update this one more time to Service Pack 3. Anyway, close that out and then reboot our machine. Okay, so I've got my machine off and my disk is in here now, and all I have to do is press the power button. And if the BIOS is set up correctly, it should go ahead and boot from the actual CD inside the machine. Okay, it's saying press a key, and I did press a key there, I didn't show you. And so now this installation disk is now booting. You can see down here at the bottom where it's loading all the necessary files to continue the setup. Restoring a machine back to factory setting is a lengthy process, especially if you're backing up the data. So the main thing to remember is just to be patient. Okay, we have now come to this screen where it welcomes us to the setup, and these next few keystrokes matter if you're trying to do a full format. So the first thing we want to do is hit enter to set up XP now. You must agree to the licensing with F8. At this point, this is your decision, but if you're doing a full restore, you should format the hard drive, especially since we have our data there. So to continue installing without repairing, we want to hit escape here. We don't want to repair the installation, we just want to start again. So we're going to use the escape key. Now this setup is showing us the partition right here. What I like to do is go ahead and delete the partition and then make another one. So to delete the partition, hit D. Press enter. It's just asking me to verify. Okay, to delete this partition, press L. Okay, this is going to actually format it for us. L. Now you can see that there's no partition there. It's just all unpartitioned space. So now we can go ahead and set up our XP by pressing enter. And instead of using this quick, which might seem tempting to use to format the partition, I recommend that you do a full format and not the quick one. That way it'll test your hard drive if there's errors. Okay, it's partitioning our hard drive. So as soon as this finishes, I will be back. It's just a waiting game right now. Okay, The hard drive finished formatting, and the computer proceeded to go ahead and continue installing the XP operating software, and it has stopped at this point, and it's asking me to select my regional language options, so I'm going to do that now, and also the username and my time zone here. Verify the time and the date. And installation continues. When something else happens differently, I will be back. Once again, the installation stopped. It stopped approximately 30 minutes in. It's just asking me to choose my network, and I go with the typical to begin with. And if you'd like to set up a business work group, I just leave it for default. Next. So I wait some more. Well, I missed the very little end of it, but it is rebooting now. It didn't ask me anything else after that last thing I showed you, so it just finished and it's now rebooting itself. Okay, it's asking me about the screen appearance. You just want to click OK on that. Go ahead and tell it OK on the resolution. Okay, so Windows is booting up, and it has come up with thanking me for the purchase and whatnot. We're going to click into here. You can just answer this by saying, help me to, you know, turn on automatic updates. That's fine. Okay, we're going to give it a name. After give it a name, hit the next. And finish. Okay, we're progressing nicely. The Windows XP is now started up, and I have a start option open for me to explore the computer, and it's as far as it can get for now. So the first thing that I would like to do is go under my computer here, and if you use your right hand mouse button, you can click out this properties tab, and then make sure that underneath this hardware tab here, device manager here, all these devices are not currently active. So what we would have to do if we did not have this disk, this is a disk that has all the drivers specific to this machine, as well as some applications you know, that HP likes to put on there. So if you did not have this disk, what you could do is use a thumb drive on another computer, put the model number of this computer into the HP support website, and download all these drivers individually on your thumb drive on a working computer, and then bring them over and put them in this machine, and then install them one at a time. That would be typically how you'd have to do it if you did not have this disk. But since I have this disk, yahoo! Just having this disk probably save yourself a couple hours of work, easy. So this is my operating system disk. I'm going to take that out now, and I'm just going to put the installation disk in for the drivers and the applications, and let it run. And when this is all finished, the reward will be that all these drivers will be working for the devices. But the trade-off is I'll have a bunch of HP crap on my machine. But you know, give and take, I guess. So I am going to go into my computer. I put the disk in. Here it is here. Click on it. And then it's asking me what to enable, what to turn on. So it's not a bad little disk, really. I'm going to go with the hardware enabling drivers first. At least this stuff is separated out nicely. A lot of times you don't get this kind of treatment. And then what I would do is turn off everything that you don't want. Well, we want the USB driver. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the audio driver. We want that for our music. And there's another audio driver which we'll take. This is for a modem, so this has a built-in modem. We'll keep it. And then this is essential updates for number 2, service pack. I'm going to turn that off because we're going to manually just load in service pack 3 when we're all done. This HB module for the Bluetooth we'll leave on. This is a drive guard that will shut the hard drive down if an accelerometer inside the computer feels like it's falling, so we'll leave that on. I really like to look through each one of these and turn them on or off. There's video drivers manually, because if you don't, you're going to end up with a lot of stuff that you really don't want. So after you're satisfied with this, with your selection here on the drivers, you can just hit install. And this will go for a while, another waiting game, so I will be back. Well, yes, it has been a while. Here's the time now. I don't know exactly when we started, but it's been quite a while. I've done other things, so I didn't really pay attention much to the time. I can look back at the video though. So that now everything's installed and all the drivers should be installed. It's just asking me to restart, and I'll do that now. We'll be back. Okay, the computer rebooted now. Let's take a look again and see what our device manager says as far as our drivers are concerned. Go to my computer, right click, go to properties, and click on this hardware tab. Here. And device manager. So everything is filled in except for one thing right here, this unknown device. Let's see if we can get internet access and maybe we can fix that problem. I'm gonna hook up the internet cable. I'll be back. Okay, so I've connected my internet cable here, the Cat5 wire, and I've launched the Internet Explorer and it came right up, so that's not a problem at all. Now the next step I need to do is get this back to Service Pack 3, the latest that there is. So I am going to go to Tools inside the Internet Explorer and go to Windows Update. There's a message up here asking me if I want to install this or not. I have to click it and install the ActiveX control to go any further. More security warnings. And finally I make it to the updater and I will choose the Express. This will run for a while. I'm going to take all the updates that they have to offer at this time, and once I take all those updates I will be back. So it's a matter of just saying yes and taking all the updates. Okay, I just tried to install Service Pack 3 and I'm getting this message here. And if you've ever been in this predicament and don't know what to do, the best thing to do is to store a copy of all the software that you've downloaded onto a hard drive like I have here. And I have Service Pack 3 on this thing. So I am going to bypass
downloading it from the internet. And just go ahead and install it directly from my own download that I saved. And the reason why I'm showing you this is I think it, you know, if you are a repair shop or somebody that is going to be repairing computers, you should start making your library now of useful programs that you might use more than once. And one of those things is the service packs to all different types of Windows operating systems. And here on my drive, I keep a copy of most service packs that I need. And I am looking down through here for Windows updates. There. And I have it right here, Windows Service Pack 3. So this is one good reason why you should keep service packs on a, you know, drive similar to that. So okay, I'm going to go ahead and install the service pack. It should be nothing new. If it is, I'll be back. Either way, I will be back. Okay, it's been kind of a long haul, but we're almost there. Service Pack 3 for XP is now complete, so I just have to finish. I'll see you when it starts back up. As you can tell, this process of backing up and then restoring and then putting all the drivers back the way they were and updating everything can take some serious time. You know, in some cases 3 or 4 hours, and if you have a lot of data on the drive, it can even take longer. So we're now just coming out of a restart from updating to Service Pack 3 XP from Service Pack 2, and as soon as this computer settles down, we are going to move the data back from here that we saved using Easy Transfer and put it back on here so that all our settings and our files and our shortcuts, email settings, background images, the way that we like our resolution set on our monitor, and just a whole host of other settings that were original to this user. And let's go ahead and do that now. Everything looks settled down. We want to go in here one more time and verify that we are. Right click, properties, set to Service Pack 3, which we are there. Let's take a quick look at our hardware here. We still have this unknown device here. It could be a card reader or many things really. After I set the configuration file back to normal, if that is still a problem, I will manually reinstall the driver for that device. A good way to know what that device is you can right click on it, you can go to properties, and then up here in the details you can go down through here and find hardware IDs. And then you can take this and Google it. And if you Google it, it will come up with a manufacturer name, and then from there you can find the drivers. In this case, I think I'll be okay once I roll the system back to the way it was, so I'm not going to worry about it now. So I've got my USB drive on, and I'm ready to move data back the other way, finally. My computer, I put it in the backup here. I put it in here, here. So there's the data I'm looking for. So to initiate the copy back, I'm going to go to Start, All Programs, just like when I got here the first time. Accessories, System Tools, File and Setting Transfer Wizard. Keep in mind, after Vista, I believe it was, they changed the name of this wizard. Okay, here we go. And next. Now, remember last time we picked old computer? Well, this is now redone, so it is new computer. Next. Gotta unblock this. I don't need a wizard disk. I'm ready. So I'm going to click I don't need it and click Next. And then I have to click this button here and go look for this file that's on this external hard drive here. It's in my backup here. Here. And here. So I'm just navigating to it. And then I hit Next. Now, if you see this where it says that it doesn't contain any of the stored information, here's a little trick. This is a little bug in XP. Say OK, and then go to the browse again, and then this time back up one directory, one file folder directory. Back up one. I'll show you what I mean. E here. Last time I went to this one, but instead I'm just going to leave it to this and then hit OK, and it will find it from there. That's a little bug inside this file setting transfer wizard that's been in there since XP days, so if you run into that problem, you'll know how to handle it. Okay, this is definitely going to take some time, so I will be back. Next time it comes back, this desktop should look all different. All the file folders and everything, the way the customer had it when they first brought it in, should be restored, as well as all the files on the hard drive for the user data should be fixed in its rightful place. So we will be back. Okay, very good. Well, finally I am back to normal. This was a pretty long procedure, as you can tell. The Windows file transfer did finish, and now I am just taking some updates from the HP site for, little things, and I will have to still put on other applications such as Firefox and, Adobe Photoshop. If the customer wants that back on here, they can supply me the disk. Other than that, all the user data and everything is just like it was. So as you can tell, this is a long process, and I figure I've got about 4 to 5 hours just in this one, so I have to price accordingly. In this case, this was a business client. They don't mind paying the extra money, nearly $250 to do this operation. So, if it's not a matter of saving data, it's a lot simpler to do, but to take the data off and then put it back on is another matter. So I hope you learned something from this lesson, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, this is Steve. Thanks for watching. Hey, don't forget to subscribe if you like this video, and be sure to rate and comment. See ya.